Top 10 Best Books by Stephen King to Read. The first thing that comes to my mind upon hearing the name of Stephen King is mystery and thriller. His books are the perfect way to spend your night in the spooky season. However, restricting his work to Halloween only is unfair, as the man has written many masterpieces that should be appreciated all year round. The name of Stephen King on the cover of a book is surety enough that the book is going to be amazing. From short stories to full-fledged books, we all millennials grew up reading Stephen King books under the cover of our sheets, way past our bedtimes. Whether you are a millennial trying to reminisce memories from your teenage years, or a Gen Z with a love for horror, you have to read these 10 Stephen King books that I'm about to share in this video. But make sure to pull the blinds down, as these books will leave you feeling spooked out. The name of Stephen King has been mentioned in many genres, thriller and mystery being the top ones. To describe him in simple words, he loves writing books that the readers cannot forget. He has a flair for writing mysteries in a way that keeps the readers guessing till the very end of the books. If you are looking for soft romance, then Stephen King's writing is not for you, my friend. The man only writes the best horror, mysteries, and thrillers. Many of his work has been turned into TV shows and movies. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Links to the books are given in the description below. Number 10. Needful Things. The plot of this book is perfect for those readers who do not want anything too spooky or scary. When Leland Gaunt opens his small store Needful Things in Castle Rock, his only motive is to bring a wide range of objects, catering to everyone's desires to the people of the town. So when he asks every buyer to pull a small prank or perform a deed as a token of payment, nobody in the town suspects anything. They surely do not expect the peace of the town to go up in the flames with everyone at each other's throats. The only person without a purchase is the local sheriff Alan Pangborn, who may or may not have suspicions about Leland Gaunt being behind the violence taking place in his town. The real question is whether will he be able to prove Gaunt and bring him to justice, or will the situation of his town only go downhill? Number 9. The Outsider. When I say no one can outdo Stephen King when it comes to mystery, I mean it. The Outsider is living proof of that. The plot of this book shows Terry Maitland, a coach and English teacher, who has the perfect family and is loved by the entire population of Flint City. So when the dead body of a little boy emerges in a park with Terry's fingerprints all over it, it shocks the entire town to its core. The lead detective on the case, Ralph, arrests Terry publicly after locating DNA evidence. However, when alternate evidence emerges, it makes Ralph question whether Terry is as guilty as the evidence is pointing him to be. This book will take you on a roller coaster of emotions, so do not say, "I didn't warn you." Number 8. Pet Cemetery. Moving into a new house in Maine, the Creeds have everything that paints them as the picture-perfect family. From the job of Louis Creed to his loving family living in the beautiful house, he considers himself to be very lucky. However, life has a tendency of going downhill right when everything seems too perfect. In the case of the Creeds, their bad luck comes in the form of a forest right behind their house that is also the home of the dead pets of the entire town. From finding a small shoe full of blood and hearing a child's laughter to Louis digging up a coffin, this book has the stuff that will give you nightmares. With every turn of the page, this book will grow scarier and scarier. So, make sure to leave the lights on when you start reading it, or better, do not read it at night. Number 7. Salems Lot. Salems Lot is one of the initial works of Stephen King, but in plot development, this book is in no way any less than the rest of his work. Just because the book has Salem in it, does not mean it is about witches. Even better, it contains a group of vampires that take over a small town. Upon his return to the town, the former resident of Salems Lot, Ben Mears, is horrified to find the friendly and lovable of his town turning into vampires. An antique dealer in the town becomes his source of suspicion, but fighting the evil source is not so easy, especially with the night creatures lurking all over town. Ben gathers a group of people to fight off evil, but there is no guarantee that he will succeed in this suicide mission. Number 6. The Shining. Adapted into a movie, The Shining is among the best creations of Sir Stephen King. This book will give you the perfect dose of mystery, thrill, and horror, leaving you with an adrenaline rush. The story begins when Jack Torrance, a recovering alcoholic, accepts a job as an off-season caretaker of a hotel in Colorado. Being a struggling writer, the job seems perfect to him to focus on writing his book. But what Jack fails to notice is the sinister feeling of this historic building. However, when his 5-year-old son starts seeing forces gathering around them, he is forced to take notice, but by then it may be too late. The story picks up the pace when Jack's mind and body get possessed by sinister forces. As I said, this book is the perfect thrill and horror story, ideal for all the terror junkies out there. Number 5. It. I refuse to believe any millennial or Gen Z out there has not heard the name of the famous horror movie It. For my readers fellow, along with watching it, you also get a chance to read that book. The story revolves around 7 kids who accidentally come into contact with an evil entity residing in their small town. The single encounter with the shape-shifting creature causes the death of the brother of one of the members of the group, and the 7 of them escape town. However, once you find yourself in the clutches of evil, escaping it is not so easy. Years after their initial encounter, when an unknown creature starts killing the kids of the town, the group finds their way back to their old town. But when that evil appears in front of them in the form of their worst nightmare at every turn, will they be able to fight it, or will their return become the cause of their death? Not a single part of this book is slow-paced or for the weak hearts, so heed my warning: if you do not like horror, put this book down. Number 4. The Institute. The Institute is the kind of book that has you hooked to it from the first page. When Luke Ellis finds himself kidnapped and his parents murdered, his life flashes before his eyes, and it seems like the end to him. However, it is not the end, though what will happen afterward make him wish his life has ended with his parents. When he wakes up in a place that houses other kids close to his age and younger, with special talents that are getting extracted from them, it seems like rock bottom. But that is only the beginning, because when the director of the Institute deems a student unlawful or useless, she goes to another part of the Institute called the back door, from which there is no returning. When kids around his age start disappearing in the back door, Luke becomes desperate to find his way out of this sinister building, which actually escaping is not as easy as planning it. Number 3. The Stand. The plot of this book is perfect for all my readers who are a fan of post-apocalyptic stories. The story begins when a patient escapes from a testing facility, carrying a highly deadly and mutated super flu that will wipe out almost the entire population of the planet. It seems like the end of the world, but the real end comes when 2 forces rise in the form of the Dark Man and Mother Abigail. The remaining people need to decide which side they want to pick, as the Dark Man's side may push them to a fate of darkness, but picking the other side may doom them to their death by the rival forces. The fate of the entire planet depends upon a single decision. The riveting plot and story development will keep you glued to your seats till the last page of the book. Number 2. Different Seasons. This book is perfect for those of you who cannot read long novels. Different Seasons contains 4 novellas that have been compiled into a single book. The first novella, called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption, is about a man who has been wrongfully accused and imprisoned for the murder of his wife. The story revolves around how he lives in prison. The second novella, Abpupel, is about a teenager who gets fascinated with a German immigrant who he believes to be a Nazi war criminal. The story shows how the fascination of the young boy with the war criminal takes him to the dark side. The third novella, The Body, focuses on a group of young boys who stumble upon the dead body of their friend, with a group of older boys hovering near the crime scenes. Years after fleeing the crime scene, the group of friends are being hunted one by one. The last novella, The Breathing Method, is about a young woman who finds herself at a doctor's clinic due to an unexpected pregnancy. The story shows her journey of navigating through pregnancy as a single mother. All of these novellas have intriguing plots that will have you guessing what is going to happen next. Number 1. The Green Mile. At the top of my list of the best Stephen King books is The Green Mile. The story of this book takes place in the prison called the Green Mile, where 2 killers are imprisoned and await their death. However, when a new prisoner, John Coffey, joins them with healing powers and empathetic abilities, they are forced to question whether there are inhumane forces walking about them. The story shows the encounter of the death row supervisor with the new inmate, as well as his encounters with the rest of the prisoners present in the Green Mile. The gripping plot of the story, with the writing of Stephen King, is the perfect way for you to spend your Saturday night. If you wish to read a Stephen King book, the ones that I just recommended in this video are some of his best works. So, pick any book from the list that I just shared with you. Kick your feet up and get to reading. However, make sure to put your phone settings to silent, as trust me, you will not want any distractions. If the video helps you find the next book you are going to read, then like and share this video. Let me know in comment section on what type of books I should cover in my next video. Also, if you read one of the book mentioned in this video, share your review or thoughts with us. Subscribe this channel for more such awesome videos. Thanks for watching.